Hi Year 2 and welcome to your phonics session today. So it is a Friday, so we are going to be thinking about some common exception words. And remember, these are the words that we need to learn to read and to spell in Year 2. Okay, so my first question is, what's the name of this letter? It's called an A, isn't it? And what sound does it make? Makes an sound. Well done, we learnt that a very long time ago, didn't we? It sounds like a silly question, doesn't it? But sometimes in English, things can be a little bit tricky, okay? And we are going to look at some words that can be a bit complicated because they're said slightly differently in different parts of the country, okay? So let's have a look at the first one and I'll explain what I mean. Okay, so here you can see a picture of a little girl in what I would call a bath, okay? But when we look at this word, we can see it's spelt bath. Now, some people would say the word bath when they're talking about this, and it mostly depends on where you live. So where we live in the country, most people would say bath, but in other areas of the country, people would say bath. One isn't right and one isn't wrong. It's just a slightly different way of pronouncing it. Okay, so the words that we're going to look at today are a bit tricky because this letter that we would normally have as an A sound, people where we live often in these words will say an R sound, okay, but it's not spelt with the R grapheme. So let's have a look through them. We're going to say them with the two different pronunciations because you will meet people as you grow up that say them in different ways. So let's have a look. The next word we have then is path or path. And when you're spelling it, if you remember path, it will be much easier to spell. Okay, path or path. Let's look at another one. The next one is plant or plant. Plant, or where we live, most people would say plant. Okay. Let's have another look at one. Pass or pass. So there's a picture here of two people playing basketball and they are going to pass the ball to one another or they're going to pass the ball to one another. Again, it doesn't matter how people say them. It's said differently in different parts of the country. I've tried to look for a reason why, but I can't really find very much information about why that is. So if you can find out, I'd love to know. Okay, so we've got the word pass or the word pass. We've also got the word class or class. So you might be in Elm class or you might be in Beach class. You might be in Elm class or in Beach class. It doesn't matter which way you say it, but when you're spelling it, if you remember with the A sound, it will help you to write it. And we've got the thing that grows all over the ground. We've got grass or grass, okay? So your challenge today is to use each of these words in a sentence. And remember, when you're writing them, I would recommend that you think of them as bath, path, plant, pass, class, and grass, because they're much easier to spell that way. But lots of us in the area that we live in would read them as bath, path, plant, pass, class, and grass. Okay, so your job today is to use each of these words in a sentence, okay? We would really love to see these being sent in and we'd love to see them shared with us through emails. You'll need to pause the video at the end so that you can see the words, and please remember to think really carefully when you're writing your sentences about how we need to have capital letters, we need punctuation at the end. You might even think about using some apostrophes for possession, so you might say it was Jessica's bath and think about where the apostrophe would go. I hope you have a really great day and I will see you really soon. Bye you two.